All right, waiting for it to come through on Instagram here. There we go. All right, we're live on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming back and joining once again today. Yesterday we discussed why business owners have such a hard time getting the right people on their team. And we went through that. And so today we're going to talk about, how do you compensate people right? How do you compensate people wrong? And I'm just sitting out here on the patio today. It's another beautiful day, lots of sunshine in the backyard, trying out this Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. It's actually not too bad, poured over some ice in my Yeti cup here. Of course, if I get sick of it, I've got my good old Topo Chico and the other Yeti cup ready to roll. Well, let me ask you something. Have you ever paid someone for a full paycheck for a full week, but you felt like you didn't get a full week's work? Has that happened? I think that's probably happened to most of us. And I'm going to try to keep an eye here on the comments as well. I want to encourage you guys as we go. Drop your questions in the comments. By the way, go ahead and say hello. Drop a hello in there if you would. That way I know you're tuning in. I sure would appreciate it. It would make my day a little bit better. Oh, hey, by the way, at the end of this, we're gonna have another drawing, and we're gonna give away another ticket for the upcoming Contractor Freedom Summit worth $1,497. So make sure you stick around till the end here today. Okay, so most of us we've paid out good money before, but we feel like we didn't get a good week's work, right? So that's the problem most companies, especially small businesses, have, is they end up paying, I call it paying for presence instead of paying for performance, because they just really don't know how to design compensation plans around performance. But we have to admit, here's the truth, that someone's time doesn't grow a business. What grows the business is the results that they get. And when if we just pay for presence, we just reward people for showing up. But when we pay for performance, we reward them for stepping up. Okay. Now, which one do you want to pay for? I'm just checking the comments over here. So, which one do you want to pay for? Do you want to pay for performance or for presence? And if you just keep paying for presence, you're never going to make any money. Your company's just not going to do well. Okay. So, but friends, when you start aligning, we start paying for performance. Okay, it changes everything. And here's why it matters. Trust is the currency of business. And when your team sees that their contribution is valued and rewarded, it makes them trust you even more. And so what they do is they stop clocking in and they start buying in. Let me say that again. They stop just clocking in and they start buying in when performance is rewarded. And a performance-based system creates alignment. And everyone, it should create it in this way. When the business wins, everybody wins. When the business gets results, they get results, and those results could be monetary, but they could also be recognition or other things that aren't necessarily monetary. But the heartbeat of a winning culture is performance pay. Okay, but before you can define performance, before you can pay for performance, you have to define what exactly performance even looks like in that role. Now let's get real. I've met some people that give bonuses or incentives for people showing up on time and clocking in on time for 7 days in a row or 5 days in a row or 30 days in a row. Okay, that is absolutely nuts. You don't reward people for doing the bare minimum. Okay, we'll talk more about that here in just a minute. So you need to ask yourself, what results do I want from this role? Start with a blank piece of paper. And I've reimagined roles in my company with my leadership team on the whiteboard. Like, hey guys, let's just forget everything we know about this role. Let's just forget everything we know about this role. And what do we want this role to accomplish? Whoever's serving in this role right here. Okay, let's take everybody's name. Let's imagine that, that Jackie and Jenny and Tom are not in this role right now. If we were hiring someone brand new for this role, what would we want them to accomplish? And just start writing it down. And once you get that clarity of this is what I really need for this role. For instance, let's just take a project manager role for a home improvement company like my home improvement company. My home improvement company, we do painting and roofing and gutters, etc. We're doing projects for homeowners. Well, what do I want? What does excellence look like in that role? Well, it looks like the projects are completed on time, collected on time, they're in budget, and the customer got a 5-star experience evidenced by, you got it, a 5-star review. Those are the primary things that I want out of that role. I also want like no go-backs and warranty work. I want them to make sure the work is thorough. That's what I want from that role. And so once you define what you want for that role, then you can come up with some KPIs, key performance indicators. And once you can put a number on it, once you can measure it, you can manage it and you can reward it. So then what behaviors produce those results? And so then you start breaking down, here's the behaviors that we're going to use to wow the customer, to get the project done on time, to get it done in budget, those type of things. But you can't reward what you haven't defined. And I would bet that many of you listening in, watching in right now, that you have these employees that in your mind, you feel like they're doing a good job and you're just, I need to give them a bonus. Wow, I need to give them a bonus. Oh, I need to rework their compensation plan. They deserve it. Day after day passes, week after week passes, and their efforts and their results are going unrecognized and unrewarded, and their engagement is going to spiral right down here until one day they walk in and tell you that they quit, that they found a better job down the street. Not because you didn't appreciate them, but because you didn't show appreciation and you didn't reward their great efforts. Come on now. I bet you can think of one in your company where that has happened, at least one. All right, let's keep going. So, again, in our world, a project manager's job isn't just to be busy. It's nobody's job to be busy. Matter of fact, a lot of times busy is a cover for lazy. I'm busy doing the busy work so I don't have to tackle the real problems that this job has. I don't want to call this upset customer. I don't want to solve this problem. I don't want to have to research this. I just want to do the busy work till it's 4:59:59 and I can clock out and go home. Friends, we need to get this right. So when here's a secret, okay, that I want to tell you. People don't work for money. They work for what the money does for them. What does the money do for them? Ask your team, hey, what are your personal goals? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 1 year? What could more money help you achieve sooner? Maybe they want to buy a house. Maybe they need a new car. Maybe they want to start saving. Maybe they want to pay off some debt. Maybe they want to go to college. Maybe they want to get married. Maybe they want to buy an engagement ring, whatever it is. Connect what they want to do, understand how the money that they make when they perform, understand how that could make their life better, and start talking to them, not just about the more money, but hey, I want to help you get that down payment for the house. I want to see you buy this house. And I know that that's a big goal for a lot of business owners, is they want to help their employees become business owners. Business owners, homeowners. They want to help their employees become homeowners. And I think that's a noble goal, friends. But when we don't take the time to design compensation plans properly, it just doesn't work. Okay? So, when connect the company success to their personal success. And that'll create a link, an alignment, and will align the performance. And when they see that when I strive harder or work better or work smarter here, or maybe even work a little longer hours, that's going to help me achieve my goal. Okay, that's going to drive performance. And in today's business environment, we need every single team member driving performance. We need to get an ROI on every single payroll dollar that we spend. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so let's get clear on something. Okay, there's three pillars, if you will, of compensation clarity. So the first one is this: transparency. When you build your team, everybody should know how compensation decisions are made. Raises aren't random. They're earned through increased value, through growth, through contribution, and through alignment. Okay, friends? Number 2, show me the path and I'll run it. You see, people want to know how to grow. We need to give them a track that they know that they can go from, say, trainee to technician, to lead technician, to assistant manager, to manager. Let them see a path of growth in their career at your company. All right, so the third one is stewardship. So the goal isn't to grow payroll. The goal is to grow people. And again, compensation decisions should be investments in proven performers. They are not participation trophies. We need to lead with empathy, but we need to lead with data, not emotion. And here's how we say that at my company. We're going to lead from the heart because we care about people, and we're going to manage by the numbers. If your performance doesn't bring additional value, I don't have additional money to give you. Okay? We're going to lead from the heart, and we're going to manage by the numbers. And we need to be clear with everybody on how we do that, and we need to be clear with them when they are doing a great job and when they're not doing a great job. So, here's some, when you're considering a raise or a promotion for someone, here's a few questions that you can ask. Okay, the first one is this: has this team member increased their measurable contribution? Number 2, are they exceeding expectations in their current role? Number 3, have they taken on greater responsibility, leadership, or have they increased their skill level? Number 4, and here's another one: are they aligned with the company vision, values, and culture? If they're doing good in items 1, 2, and 3, but they're not aligned with vision, values, and culture, they may not even be a good fit for your team. And then number 5 is, are they making the team around them better? The best players inspire everybody else around them to do better. Okay? So those are 5 great questions, and wouldn't even be a bad idea to hit pause here later, rewind this thing, and write those 5 questions down. And if most of the answers are yes, then you're probably looking at someone who's earned a compensation conversation. Now, here's what compensation is not based on, and let's make this crystal clear. Compensation is not based on tenure. It's not based on loyalty alone. It's not based on personal financial need. It's not based on pressure or comparison, emotional appeals, none of that. Raises are earned, not demanded. They're earned through performance and alignment. So, what do you think about that so far? Let me know in the comments. Drop a comment. And let's see, I'm going to see if anybody's asked any questions here. You guys drop your questions in the comments. And hey, by the way, Patrick, thank you for saying hello. Thank you for being here today. Jacob, thank you for being here today as well. I'm dropping a comment there. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are getting some value out of this today. And matter of fact, if you've got a friend or business partner that needs to hear this message, click the share button right now and share it with them. Help them out. So now when it comes to your compensation system, it needs to be simple. That's the hard part. It needs to be simple. It needs to be balanced. And I suggest that a three-part system. The first one is the base pay. And that's, that's their security for showing up and doing the job. That's the first piece. Performance bonuses that are tied to measurable KPIs. Let me say that again, measurable KPIs. Whether it's sales or sales effectiveness or leads generated or something like that, measurable KPIs. And I prefer to compensate based on the output. I will recognize efforts, but reward the results. Let me give an example. If someone in my call center is doing outbound calls, I want them to set appointments. I want them to get a prospect on the phone, and I want them to uncover some type of a need or want and set an appointment for one of our project consultants to go and do a free evaluation for them. So I'm not going to reward them based on how many calls they make in a day. I will reward them based on the appointments that they get set. But when they make a lot of calls, I'm going to recognize that effort. Oh, wow, you'd made a lot of calls today. But I'm going to pay them for the actual output, which is setting the appointments. Okay. Let's see, on TikTok, as management, we look for ways to motivate by helping people we care for to obtain tangible goals. Absolutely. That's a good comment. Yes, indeed. Okay, so we started with base pay, then there's performance bonus tied to measurable KPIs. Well, then the third piece is non-monetary rewards. Recognition, growth opportunities, trophy, time off. A lot of people value time off more than they do, some extra cash in their pocket. A lot of people understand that time is more valuable than money. So the key is to keep it measurable, keep it fair, and keep it simple. If they hit X, they earn Y. If they hit X, they earn Y. And no, don't reward people for showing up on time or doing the bare minimum. But we got a little airplane flying over there. When it's clear and consistent, you never have to argue about the pay. Let me say that again. When it's clear and consistent, you never have to argue about the pay. So, wow, that's loud. So how do you roll all this out in your company? Well, when you're about to hire a new employee, you just put it all in writing, real clear. Make it transparent. However, okay, so someone says, on TikTok, I need money, not X and Y. X and Y don't pay, right. But my point is, the Y in the example I gave was the amount of money you would earn. Okay, so when you achieve X at the company, whatever that result is, then you get Y, which is the pre-agreed upon reward for achieving X. And many times that is monetary, and that will pay the rent. Okay, that will pay the rent. So now, so basically you put it in writing. I do encourage you. Now, if you've got existing positions that are not, where you don't have the compensation aligned with the high performance, okay? It starts with the conversation. Hey, hey guys, we want to drive performance around here, and we want to reward the high performers. So we're rolling out this plan. Let's say, hey guys, let's talk about it. What is high performance? What does exceptional work look like in this role? and get your team in on it. Get their feedback, okay? And if they can see, wow, I can make more money. I can make more money. They'll be in on it. But some people will hate the change, and they may feel like you're trying to squeeze more out of them. Well, it may be that those are underperformers and they just don't want to do more. Maybe they really want to be the bare minimum. Maybe they're not inspired by working for you or your company or the work that they're doing. Could be. Those are hard conversations. Maybe they're not the right one for your team. So you just have to make the right decision at the right time. But when you're rolling it out, I always recommend reviewing it quarterly. Okay, so. But again, remind your team, hey guys, this isn't about paying less. It's about rewarding more when results are earned. It is about rewarding more. And nobody likes to work hard for $100 and the other guy or gal who's sloughing off is still getting the same $100. Is that fair? No, that's not fair. That's not fair to the high performer. It's not fair to the company either. And it's not fair to the low performer to let them continue to think that it's okay to be an underperformer and still get paid well. We need to create honesty, a performance culture where people are rewarded. Now, here's the thing. When you start doing this, you're going to attract the people that are going to excel in those roles. I want to talk about there's a trap that it's easy to fall into when, situation. You're running your business and you've got too many people reporting to you and your spread's so thin. So you want to take one of your top performers and you want to promote them. You want to promote them to be a manager. Problem is you don't have money in the budget for management because you're not making enough gross profit. So what you do is, well, hey, let's make a hybrid role. I want you to manage these hours of the day, and then I want you to actually do the job these hours of the day. Somehow I want you to balance it all. Okay, that's a trap. That's a trap that a lot of business owners fall into. I made that mistake. And you promote someone into management, there's not quite enough management work to fill their week, so you make it a hybrid role, part management, part production. And it seems right at first. Wrong. Here's what happens. Their attention, it gets divided between doing the job and leading the people that are doing the job. And they never have enough bandwidth to lead well, and the team never gets their full focus, so they never successfully launch as a manager. But owners do this as a stopgap to help the new manager, we say, earn their pay until there's enough work to justify it. But too often, friends, it just backfires. I'm not going to say it never works. I've done it successfully in the past, but it's failed more than it's worked. And the person struggles, they burn out, or it fails, and eventually you lose a potentially great leader on your team. And so if you're going to promote someone, let them lead. Put them in the job. Don't pay them to lead and do at the same time. Pay them to drive. Let me start over. Pay them to drive results through others. That is real leadership. And so, it takes a culture shift if you're going to, implement a performance culture. We've got to stop, paying for presence. We've got to start paying for performance and, shift from a payroll mindset to more of hey, we're partnership and results mindset. You attract doers, not dwellers, builders, not babysitters. And then, because we don't pay for time, we reward growth, their contribution and their alignment to the company vision. How about this? Here's a challenge for you for the week. Pick one role in your company and answer these three questions. The first one, what results do I really want from this position? And the second one, what measurable actions produce those results? And then third, how can I reward those actions consistently? Do that for one role just this week, and you'll start seeing performance and not just presence. Okay. Hey, let me see if I missed any questions here. Jacob says, my favorite thing to give is extra paid days off. Yeah, people really value that, a day off. And don't assume that what people want is more money. More money's nice. Yes, more money pays the bills, but you know, a lot of people, a day off is a treasure for them because they're running. You know, they're so busy after, you know, before work, after work, and on the weekends with the kids. Maybe they're a single parent, whatever. Give them a day off. It will be greatly treasured. Okay. And hey, Brian, thanks for tuning in, by the way. Thank you. Well, I've got a report, guys. This Dr. Pepper zero sugar, it's actually not too bad when you pour it over some ice here. I'm pretty picky on my drinks. But do you want to create a performance culture in your company? So here in just a minute, we're going to give away a free ticket to the summit. But if you want to learn more about these things, see, these are the things that we teach at our events, like our Contractor Freedom Summit that's coming up, that we coach in our coaching program, and these are the type of problems that growing business owners are having, and they need help solving, and that's what my team and I are really good at helping with. We are passionate about helping business owners and business leaders, okay, tame that whirlwind and get in control of their business, of their department, so that they're not a slave to it, that it begins to serve them. Your business friends shouldn't just suck your life away. And it should provide you with more than just money. It should provide you with money, with time, with freedom. And we're going to wrap that all in something called peace of mind so we can have a good night's rest. Okay? All right, friends. Aiden, let's pick someone. Let's pick a winner. Let's give away a ticket today. A ticket to the summit worth $1,497. Here we go. Ooh. All right, Jacob. Hey, Jacob, you got a ticket, and you guys are welcome to use it or to give it away. But Jacob, if you would you chat Contractor Freedom and just send your email and your phone number, and we'll have someone contact you to give you that ticket either today or at the latest on Monday. Okay. And for the rest of you guys, if you guys want to join us at the upcoming Contractor Freedom Summit, it's October 27 through 29. We're gonna throw a link in the chat. Matter of fact, I think we could even put a little coupon in there. And if you would like the link or the coupon, just chat coupon, and we will give you the coupon for registering for the upcoming Contractor Freedom Summit. So, well, God bless you guys. Have an amazing Saturday, and I'll see you guys back online, maybe tomorrow, but for sure on Monday. Take care.